praise is due to the Most High. We talking boxing talk. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Sometimes, like in boxing, life knock you down. Get up on both feet, we never accept defeat. Remove the chains off your mind and take your time. The truth teller's always on the front line. You COINTELPRO boxer fans, you're dead wrong. Spitting division and hate all day long. But I rebuke you spineless devils in the name of Jesus. And y'all know we really don't give a damn about your wicked motives, always trying to split the fam. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Sunday afternoon, I need to unwind. I grab a cup of tea and play my sister Sugar Free. Mars, her knowledge, she will set you free. But don't get it twisted, ain't nothing sweet. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. My brother Drew Titan early in the AM, always speaking facts about the code. All the truth tellers, yeah, they real bold. The General 78, yeah, he real cold. Need some boxing history, shout out to Stormy B. Queen Shawala, always on the scene. And gotta give a shout out to our champ side. Getting us real facts, always down to ride. Now through one of these truth tellers, you found me. Now let's talk boxing with Coach B. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Shout out to my brothers Freedom March, Patrice X, who helped me put this whole thing together, and my sister, the great honorable Dr. Cameron Fields, helping us get our minds right. Mind, body, and soul. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday. Salute to the family. Salute to my comrades, and it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. Family, I see you already in the chat. Salute. Jose Diaz says, Coach Hudson, hope you're having a great morning. Not only am I having a great morning, but didn't we have a crazy weekend in the sport of boxing? Salute to Dr. Cameron Fields. Says, good morning, coach and chat. Working today, will watch the replay. Salute. So family, let's come on in. Get a few of my wrenches in the house. When you all come in, please regulate the chat. You all know we're about to cook, and you know these devilish trolls will come behind. So let's get right into it. Family, what a weekend in the sport of boxing. What a weekend in the sport of boxing. Vergil Ortiz stops Lubin in the second round. Jaron Boots Ennis gets in the ring, is in the face of Vergil Ortiz. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I said to myself, finally, the sport is getting back to the best, fighting the best, and then not taking years for this to happen. As soon as they walked over to Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar started talking about money being an issue. Them needing to have the leveraging power. Then not too late after that, during the post-press conference, if you all watched, Errol Spence's name starts coming up. Don't worry, family. I'm going to take my time with this one. That's why we are starting early in the morning. It is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. And we are going to cook on all of this, giving me a good hour and 30 minutes to take my time. Salute. Macadacious Mac of the South is in the house. That's pimping since been pimping. 1942 Nitro says Ortiz team already looking for a way to duck. Family, that's what it's looking like, and we're gonna get into that. Jose Diaz said, yes, Boots against Virgil should be next, no tune-ups. So first, family, before we get into the ducking, the title of the video is the ducking narrative in boxing only for certain kinds of fighters? I don't know about you, family, but it looks like there's some ducking going on. And I have to address some things that I've said about Eddie Hearn and Boots that I might need to bring back a little bit. But before I get into that, there are some in-house things we need to take care of before I speak on everything else. So first, I have to give a huge shout out again to Will Sinclair and Stephen L. Sent me donations through the Cash App, and I want you brothers to know that you are greatly appreciated, and I will be using that to get a soundboard to make things even better during the lives. Shout out to my brother Drew Titan is in the house. He says, morning family, just woke up thanking God to allow breath in my body again today, and we are up, y'all. So let's get into it. First, I have to address the elephant in the room that some of us don't want to talk about, but I have to do it. So I want to share this picture with you all. Let's bring it to the stage. Not that one. This one. Family, do you remember these guys? Let me take my time. Let's get into it. Let me take my time, family. Sit tight. Sit tight. We're going to take our time with this one. So we have a young generation of boxing fans who might not be aware of the history of where this comes from. In this picture, we have Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis, and they are wearing the Mexican flag colors, and this has become normal for top Black American fighters to do this, sometimes as a sign of disrespect, and more recent, it's supposed to be some I guess means of honor. When I saw Lubin walk out with the sombrero on his head and the Matador costume on, because it's not his tradition, I said to myself, we might need to do a little history lesson before we cook this Monday morning. So let me be clear about something, and I see you all coming in the chat. Salute Stormy B-Man, the Sensei's in the house. 1942 Nitro said Golden Boy has a history of promoting their fighters with washed up fighters with names. Oscar hypes up the opponent with the things that they did in the past, knowing that they are over the hill. 1942 Nitro. Family, you are cooking already. We gonna get there. Please hold back. We don't want to overwhelm them yet with that truth, but we gonna get there in just a second. Let me take care of the family real quick, and then we gonna cook on that. So family, for those who don't know, when you saw Gervonta Davis do it, he said, I wanted to do it because I saw Floyd do it. Now, for those who don't know, Floyd Mayweather was doing this because his uncle, Roger Mayweather, used to do it. And we have to give context of why Roger Mayweather was doing it. All right. Now, I want to show you how we have to sometimes tell the story of our sport. I went on Google this morning looking for the picture. Family, do you know I couldn't even find it, of Roger Mayweather wearing the traditional sombrero with the traditional Mexican shawl that goes over. Not what they're wearing here, but let me show you all what I'm talking about. So this was Roger Mayweather versus Julio Cesar Chavez 2. All right. Play that real
sort
quick.
of a good-natured taunting, where some people may take it as a fella sticking his head into his opponent's face.
Well, it's a bit of a perverse relationship. They boo him, they root against him, but they don't dislike him. They know he's done a lot for the identity of Mexican fighters and for the boxing business.
Now, family, for those who don't know, Roger Mayweather was doing this out of disrespect. And this is what I want to say. When Julio Cesar Chavez beat Roger Mayweather the way he beat him in the second fight, it should have ended. That should have been it. We look crazy as hell as black men wearing something that is not a tradition of yours, regardless of what your reason is, whether it is disrespect or whether you're trying to get on the good side of the Mexican people. They do not like that. They know it is not your tradition. Think about this for a second, family. I want you to just put yourself in their shoes for a second. Imagine being a Mexican in America, and you see black Americans with all of this culture. You see black Americans with hip hop. You see black Americans Mardi Gras. You see black Americans Black History Month. You see black Americans our great civil rights activists. You see us being honored here and there. And the little things that they have, that we have as Mexicans, okay? We don't want to see you in our garments. We don't want to see you with our flags on. And we're not going to start liking you all of a sudden because you're bending the knee wearing our things. When Roger Mayweather was beaten the way he was beaten, Roger Mayweather was known as the Mexican Assassin, as well as the Mamba, because he was known to run through not just Mexicans but Puerto Ricans as well. And he wore it as a sign of disrespect, family. I'm not going to dwell on that. We have to stop doing it. You look stupid. You look like an idiot doing it. Here we have Shaka Zulu. Now, for a second, I want you all to imagine, and the Queen Sugar Free Mars spoke on this briefly. Imagine Shaka Zulu walking out on the battlefield to fight the British wearing their attire. You would look out of place and stupid. You would be embarrassed to tell that story. Now, what story is going to be told about us years down the road? So, family, I had to address that because it's getting out of hand. When Crawford came out to the Desperado music, I said, all right, man. All right, y'all. That enough, okay? Enough, damn it. You look crazy. Well, let's get into this duck talk. Now, let's lay this foundation. First of all, I have to apologize for some things that I said about Boots. I don't really apologize about how I feel about Eddie. But I realize just because something isn't done in front of us does not mean it didn't happen. Hold on to that. Let me say it again. Just because something wasn't done in front of us doesn't mean it didn't happen. Now, there is some hypocrisy going on in the sport of boxing. We're picking and choosing who we want to call ducks. I don't like it, and I'm going to show you all our own hypocrisy. We dragged Boots, and a lot of people in the boxing world, not just brothers, but some of our Mexican brothers as well, is calling this out. Golden Boy is ducking. Now, if you all remember this post press conference where Boots and Eddie Hearn was answering the questions, let's roll the tape.
The plans for Virgil in his next upcoming fight, if he beats Boots, who would you then pinpoint in terms of, because you need a marquee opponent for his next fight? I mean, who would be the two other guys that you would pick out?
Mertzalaev, Fundora, Zayas, Abu, anyone with a belt.
Yeah, but are any of those guys realistic options?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've noticed you've asked me a lot of questions this week. Everyone's been generally negative. So we're going to put a positive spin on it. I'm the best in the business. He's the best in the business.
Facts.
I'm going to do my job. He's going to do his job.
Facts.
And I've got to do my job because I don't want to miss this opportunity to...
Now listen, we drug Eddie for this interview. And I said, you know, Boots has to be a man and tell Eddie exactly what he wants. And tell him, yeah, man, you are the promoter, but if I am the boss, like you say, this is what I want. Now, at first we thought, hey, man, those conversations are not being had. But when I saw this, I said, now either Eddie Hearn is just a constant contradiction, or there was definitely a conversation had. Now, notice the different contrast in the next interview. And shout out to Fight Hub because they have this in chronological order of the timeline of the series of events that I'm going to go over.
Robert said that he knows beyond a shadow of doubt you guys aren't going to take the fight, that you guys already have an opponent for Boots, already have a date for him, and it's not...
We have no opponent. We have no date.
No opponent, no date. We have
for
nothing planned for Boots.
We just want Virgil Ortiz.
We just want Virgil Ortiz. Now, before the fight, what did we say? Stormy B-Man said, can you drop the music a couple dBs? We need to hear you cook clearly. Let me turn that down. I didn't realize it was that loud. Let's see. I even got some buttons on here I never even touched before. All right, let me get ones in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Let me get ones in the chat if you can hear me clearly. What does this button do? Oh. Hold on, family. Got some. Hey. Hey. That's what I'm talking about. Nice applause button. Okay. What's the bounce button do? All right. I'll play with this later. All right. So everyone says they can hear me clearly. It's good. All right. Shout out to Stormy B, man. The sensei. That's why steel sharpens steel. Keeping his brother right. All right. Now, Eddie Hearn does an interview and Eddie says, all we want is Virgil. Now, at this point, some can say, well, Eddie was still just lying, or we also could say Boots had a conversation that needed to be had. The only way we would be sure is to see if they were going to keep their word, come to the fight, step into the ring, and show that they want that smoke. And that's exactly what happened. And once it happened, now we start to see, once truth is in the room, who's been lying this whole time. Not just lying, but attacking the character of Boots, when now we see whole time Oscar never really wanted this fight. Let me see if we can find that. Ah, yes.
The question, is this the fight that you want next? Virgil Ortiz against Jaron Boots Ennis.
I think this is the fight that has to happen, man. I think this is it.
It's the best fight in boxing. I think he did a great job. He looked good. But I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. And I'm going to show his team.
I'm going to show his team.
They've been talking all crazy. They've been talking crazy. And I'm going to back it up. And I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. But like I said,
No one's been talking crazy, bro. You're that.
Boots says, listen, I'm going to show your team. I'm going to show your manager. I'm going to show your trainer. I'm going to show your promoter that I am the best, and I'm going to make you pay. Now, Boots, we don't really hear Boots get out of his bag like that. Boots don't do too much talking. So for him and Eddie Hearn to show up, Boots gets in the ring. He shows up with his promoter. A statement is now being made. And I'm watching this, family. I'm excited as a supporter of the sport of boxing. I see all the players that need to be present for the fight to be made are present. Even the fans are cheering. Everyone is getting a little glimpse of hope that things are going back to the best fighting the best, and it not taking 3 years, 4 years for it to happen. I said, wow. I think a new dawn is rising in the sport of boxing right before our eyes. You have a top Black American fighter and a top Mexican American fighter about to fight in their prime. They walk over to Oscar De La Hoya. And that's when the boxing world realized live that somebody's been lying this whole time, and it's looking like it's duck season. Doter14 said De La Hoya already said he not making the fight. We have the leverage, aka if Boots don't take a shit deal, we gonna say he ducked and Ortiz gonna fight someone else. Watch. That's exactly what the play is. And I am so happy that so many in the sport of boxing are seeing this. See, Canelo told us about De La Hoya. Zab Judah told us about De La Hoya. De La Hoya, Bob Arum are some of the reasons why a man like Turkey, a man like Dana White can come into the sport of boxing and say, well, you all don't have the best fighting the best, so we need to come in here and clean it up. With all that's going on, Oscar is still trying to move like it's 1985. He's still trying to move like there isn't a new player in town that has a bag to say, listen, if two fighters are at their best and these promoters are getting in the way, why not just do like Bill and Devin Haney and do a few fight deals at a time, stay independent, make more money? Well, let's see what De La Hoya had to say.
You said some things up there. When Boots Ennis knocks somebody
Shout out
out
to
in the
Fight
first
Hub.
round, it's against a top 30 guy. When Virgil Ortiz knocks somebody out in the second round, it's against a top 5 in the world guy. That's the discrepancy there. It's like it's night and day. It's boys and men.
It's boys and men. It's night and day. Oscar, who you calling a boy? It's night and day. It's boys and men. Family, who was he talking about? Who is Oscar talking about? Because he just said, well, when Boots knocks out a guy in a round, it's a top 30 guy. When Virgil knocks out a guy, it's a top 10, top 5 guy. It's day and night, boys and men. Not only does Oscar feel that they don't have any leverage, He doesn't even feel that I'm going to do business with you on a man level. Who you calling a boy? Salute to the general. 78 Sports TV is in the house. Big salutes to the general. Let's keep going.
You said some things up there that I think that some of the fans may get troubled by, because it's like, this fight is right here waiting to happen. Yeah. Let's not talk about money. But money could become an issue here, right?
No, it actually can. I mean, look, this can be a great negotiation. Obviously, look, when I say it has to be favorable to Virgil, that's the obvious case. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at what he did. Look at who he is. Virgil Ortiz is the man. Having this fight in Las Vegas can be huge.
Let's stop there for a second. Let's stop there, family. Let me ask you all something. What is a negotiation? What is a negotiation? St. Louis Mix is in the house. Says salute Coach Hudson and family in the chat. Smash the like button. So first you say, you basically call Boots a boy. And anybody can miss me with, you didn't hear what you just heard. He called Boots a boy. He says we have the leverage. And I'm going to be honest with you, family. This is Oscar is going to be the one in the way, because Eddie Hearn is not going to let him talk to him like that. It ain't going to happen. And Oscar is out of his damn mind if he thinks that it's going to go down like that. In a negotiation, you're not going to get everything you want. The other fighter isn't going to get everything that they want. But in the negotiation, we are going to compromise and we are going to negotiate to meet somewhere in the middle. Now, Virgil is doing his thing, but he isn't some box office hit superstar yet. So, Oscar, what the hell are you talking about? The whole boxing world is ignited. We all want to see this. And you get up here talking about
be the favorite here when it comes to negotiations, and as long as they're favorable, we'll make the fight happen. There's no problem with that. And I think everybody wants to see the fight, so the money's not going to be an issue because there will be enough money in the pot.
Yeah. Is that gonna be a heated?
So if there's enough money in the pot, Oscar, then what the hell are you talking about? What leverage are you talking about?
Debate by Eddie Hearn. Do you think he's gonna say my guy's the guy? I mean, how can he say
that?
He
better not. I mean, that's there's no question that I have the man.
He tells Eddie, you better not.
There's no question that Virgil Ortiz is the man. So I feel that these negotiations will be negotiations, just like any other fight, and it'll go back and forth. But at the end of the day, Virgil Ortiz is the man.
Oscar Spence was in the
double-minded and double-tongued
arena in the building. I don't know if you saw Errol Spence.
Oh, I did see him.
You did see him.
Interesting.
We've talked about this for 5 years. We talked about it at the Arlington press conference.
Now, I want you all to listen to what the journalist just said to Oscar. Man, you can't make this up. He says to Oscar, we've been talking about this for 5 years. 5 years? Half a decade?
Up Jerry World with him and Virgil.
Imagine that. Virgil is in such a good place right now. If we don't get favorable negotiations, then we can always go to Errol Spence.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stormy B-Man says, a negotiation is where two or more parties come together to formulate an agreement to conduct business where there are mutual benefits for all involved. These are prize fighters. They're both in to get the prize. where in the hell did Errol Spence names comes from? Jose Diaz says, and every day, the boxers, they're getting a day older. 5 years. Now, family, what is the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is to repeat the same thing expecting a different result. Why and how did Riyadh Season get into the sport of boxing? How did Dana White get into the sport of boxing? And furthermore, if these fighters have to do all of this stuff to be what you all call the A side, to get promoted as a star, promoter, what the hell are you doing? Promoter, what are you doing if the fighter constantly has to build themselves on their own? How are you building them? That's right, St. Louis in the mix. You said doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result. People like Oscar De La Hoya, and I'm sorry I have to say this, they are an enemy to the progress of the sport of boxing. And he knows exactly what he's doing, because he'll do this, what do they call the messy Thursdays, where he talks this and that. So you know the issue with what everybody else is doing, but when you do it, you don't see that you're on the same BS. Family, because maybe coach is tripping, maybe coach can't see it the right way. How does Virgil Ortiz fighting Errol Spence help the sport of boxing? I give you another one. How does Virgil Ortiz fighting Errol Spence help Virgil Ortiz? Oscar De La Hoya, the WBC, Suleiman, these are players who are one of the reasons why Canelo did not grow in his talent as well. Staying under the tutelage of Eddie Reynoso, all of these play a part. Look, family, when you have a weapon, let me not use weapon. When you are building a fighter and you want them to get better, you want them to get sharper, you cannot take years of having easy fights. You cannot take years of having a same type of style that you do good against and never go against the style you need to get used to fighting, so that when you do meet the great confrontation in your career, you can do well. What we witnessed when we saw Crawford versus Canelo is you saw years of a man being allowed to fight styles that he could beat and never develop those dimensions that Stormy B-Man speaks about. You don't know how to pivot on your lead foot. You don't know how to fight off your back foot. You don't know how to catch and shoot correctly. You don't know how to cut off the ring. You don't know how to set up traps on a fast, slick fighter anymore. And that only happens after hours and hours of training and then actually competing against better competition. So if they take Virgil Ortiz and you keep giving him fights, now I'll tell you, Madrimov was a good fight for Virgil Ortiz. Why? Because the herky-jerky movement of Madrimov forced Virgil to catch the rhythm to set up what he's good at. But him knocking out a Lubin in 2 rounds doesn't help him. I told you all exactly what was going to happen. Lubin was going to post himself up. He was going to frame himself up against Virgil. And because he has changed trainers 3 times, he is not in tune or aligned enough with the game plan that the great coach, forget his name, but he was a great USA boxing coach that was in the camp of Erickson Lubin. He told Erickson Lubin, listen, we need you to box like a southpaw, like you used to do. All right. You cannot fight out of the high guard, and you cannot catch and shoot with this man. You have to stay off of the ropes. You get on the ropes, tie him up if you need to, get off those ropes. If you post yourself up shoulder to shoulder, Virgil's going to get you out of here. So I see nobody put it in the chat. So the answer must be, it helps Virgil none. So you all drag the character of Jaron Boots Ennis. You had his own people looking at him crazy, of course. And under Eddie Hearn, that's easy to happen. So Boots comes to you. He steps in the ring with your fighter. The crowd is cheering. The spectators at home in the bars, they're saying this is about to happen. This super fight is about to happen at the right time, finally. And then you step in the way and start speaking about Errol Spence. So let's go back. Insanity. People decided, and not just people, the networks decided, we cannot keep spending millions on fights that people don't even really want to pay for. And with illegal streaming, they don't have to. But when it's a good fight, the real supporters of the sport of boxing, there's enough of us. We'll pay. It is an international sport. Dota 14 said Lubin was warned about his coach from Troy Isley. And Lubin got beat so bad, people are trying to wrap their mind around it and say, well, maybe Lubin threw it. Maybe Lubin. No, that's not what happened. He didn't throw it. He did what he wasn't supposed to do. And family, check this out. I gave the first round to Lubin, 10-9. Ortiz did not do anything sufficient until the last 30 seconds of a 3-minute round in the first round. So it was a close round. It was a 10-9. Some people maybe could say it would be a swing. I wouldn't. But that was a 10-9 round in favor of Lubin. And I said, if that brother just boxes, he'll do better. He might not win, but he'll do better. But this ain't about Lubin, because that's old news now. This is about people having selective outrage. So I expect when all of the truth tellers go live over this next week, the same vitriol that Boots received, for many of us, I need you all to have that same energy for Virgil Ortiz. Because now that truth has entered the building, the energy seems to be a whole lot different. Would you agree?
It doesn't matter who's next. If I had to pick, I'm gonna be honest, it would be Spence, because that's my dream fight. I've been calling it since
AT&T.
AT&T. There you go. At the Cowboy Stadium, and I just think that's my dream fight. And I don't care what anyone says about it. But anyone else, like I said, anyone can get it respectfully. I just want to fight the best.
Stop. Since when? Since when did we all start talking about Virgil versus Errol? Like Boots said, and I have to admit it, Boots is right. Robert Garcia was talking crazy. Matter of fact, the whole team was talking crazy. And we started to believe him because how bad it looked.
Boots doesn't want to fight Virgil. Boots is not going to fight Virgil next. You know, whatever they say, oh, there's a signed contract already. That's all. You know, there's Boots is not going to fight. You know, Boots is not going to fight Virgil next. You know, he's going to show up. You know, why didn't they call us up and invite us to his fight?
Now, after all that talking, after all that dragging Boots and his character, now that Boots has stepped up to the plate, and you know Eddie is pissed because the interview that Eddie did, he said Eddie was like, listen, I don't really want to, but I'm getting on this plane because my fighter, Jaron Boots Ennis, said he wants to go to the fight and step to them face to face. Now imagine you go all the way out there, and in Oscar, you're still talking crap about Eddie better not see him as the A side. You know, we better have the leverage. Dolce 14 said, stay off the ropes. Boots would do the Matrix with Virgil Ortiz Jr. Lubin doesn't prepare him for Boots. Exactly. 1942 Nitro said, in the ring, Ortiz said Boots has to be next. Afterwards, Ortiz said my dream fight would be Spence. Man, I always saw the inconsistency from Virgil and his team. Now, family, we got to take our emotions out of this boxing, family. We have to acknowledge what we have seen. 1942 Nitro is cooking and is right and exact in what he's saying. Inside the ring, he said Boots has to be next. That's what he said. After, not even an hour later, Ortiz says, my dream fight would be Spence. Now, if a man is that inconsistent, who's really ducking at this point? We no longer can point the finger at Eddie. Now, Eddie has a job to do. We already know Eddie has a problem getting American top fighters great fights in America. Thank you, 1942 Nitro. He gave me the exact time. He said 36 minutes and 42 seconds later, he changed his tune. So if a man says something over and over again and don't keep his word, what is he? St. Louis in the Mix said, and when Boots called them out for talking crazy and said he's going to make them pay, Virgil started copping pleas. That's right. Virgil started saying, no, you know, your dad was talking first. Boots said, you know what, it don't even matter. He started talking that Philly talk. It's time to get this money. It don't even matter who was talking. Let's fight. Let's fight. And now I'm seeing this shift of energy, family. What's going on? Virgil, Robert, Oscar, and I got to say this because I've been watching this sport for a while, most of my life. And when it comes to Robert Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, they don't have a long track record of keeping their word and being honest. Now, and this is what I mean, because Robert Garcia is a great trainer. Oscar De La Hoya was a great fighter, but this ain't got nothing to do with that. Because Robert Garcia is the same man that sat with Margarita when they mocked the seizures of Freddie Roach. He's the same man that was on Showtime after the cheating scandal with Margarita, and they were all at Robert's crib, he and the ha. And we don't even have to go into Oscar De La Hoya's past. But you all have a chance to do right in front of the whole world. Not only that, Canelo is on his way out. For whatever reason, mainstream boxing media. They are not getting behind David Benavidez the way they should. So who's next? Are you all afraid maybe to put Virgil in front of Boots because he's the one you all want to say is next? The great Mexican warrior champion that is leading the charge? Hold on, I see y'all, family. Talk to me. Dota 14 said they like 2 to 4 fluff fights in between real fights. Resume padding at its finest. Good business for his fighters, but terrible for fans, even fans of his fighters. Well, let's see. Let's talk about it for a second. Is it good for business? Is it good for business if you build a fighter and they keep getting styles they can beat, and then they get beat so bad by somebody with a style that they're not used to that you don't get another payday off that fighter? Is that good for business or bad for business? Is that good for the sport of boxing or bad for the sport of boxing? St. Louis in the mix said, I never liked Robert Garcia. Always seemed slimy to me ever since the glove incident with Maidana and Floyd and Bronner. St. Louis, I'm going to tell you, if you think that's something, go study the the Margarito hand wrapping situation, and you will see some real shady dealings with that whole little crew over there. But you know, that can be a whole live in itself. Mook _ said he knew Maidana was cheat with no padding in his gloves. So it does not benefit the sport. Listen to me, family. Listen. How many times? And let me put, because we got a little bit of time before 9:30, so I'll put the link in the chat. If I can remember, yeah. All right. That's right, Margarito. What did you all see with Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach? Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. Why did Tank Davis struggle with a Lamont Roach? Why does Tank Davis struggle with slick fighters? Styles make fights, don't they, family? That's right, St. Louis. St. Louis said, I remember you did a whole breakdown on that history with the cheating starting with Margarito. Absolutely disgusting. And you know what, family? I didn't even want to have to do that. But somebody else, I was talking on our brother Drew Titan's channel, and someone had brought up that issue and said that I was wrong in what I was saying. So I said, well, you know, it was a long time ago. I apologize if I got it wrong. And before the live was over, I went and looked up everything I was saying, and it was worse than what I thought. The people that they suspended for Margarito's corner was only suspended. They were supposed to be suspended indefinitely, but they weren't. They were suspended by #1 cornermen indefinitely. The state of California reinstated them 2 years later as second cornermen. I can't make it up. The brother Drew Titan said, we didn't even expect Maidana cheating Bronner until Robert told Floyd those are the same brand that we used versus Bronner. I can't make it up. Dota 14 said Tank only fights guys who stay on the line or have traditional Mexican styles, or he weight drains them and catches them if they are a slick fighter, because Frank Martin was tagging Tank. Put his back on the ropes, night. And when we make these observations, it's not hate, but I just don't understand how come they get to duck. And it seems that this ducking narrative is only for certain fighters. I didn't hear mainstream and these boxing spaces, other than the truth tellers, call Canelo a duck. Call Mikey Garcia a duck. Hell, call Virgil Ortiz a duck a few years ago. So they don't get called duck. I guess it's just certain fighters who are actually chasing the smoke. A few years ago, before Turkey, before Dana White, before we knew anything about them coming into the sport, I remember many of the content creators for the sport of boxing warning us, saying, you know, the sport of boxing is depleting. It's going down. The talent, the best fighting the best. And if something drastic does not change, we're going to pay for it. Well, family, we're paying for it. And you have people like Oscar De La Hoya still trying to do the same thing. And I think he feels, because he sold Ring Magazine to Turkey, that he can keep getting away with it. Family, we can't allow them to do it. You got Oscar up here calling Boots a boy. So Boots is a boy now. See, this is when fighters get motivated to take it just past beating your fighter. You're making it hard on your own fighter. The same way Virgil kind of held back a little bit on Lubin and let him get stopped on his feet. Now imagine the fight happens anyway, and your fighter takes a beating like Errol took with Crawford. Salute my comrade. Mana Mansa Musa is in the house. So I asked this question again. Is the ducking narrative in boxing only for certain fighters? I pose another question to you. When did boxing fans become promoters? The Brother Champ side went live yesterday, which is crazy because I was leaving the date. We were leaving the restaurant. I got in the car, and as soon as my phone hooked up to my Bluetooth, I heard Champ side. I said, what the hell? Looked at my phone. I'm like, yo, Champ side is live. It had to be like maybe 10:30. Champ side on there cooking. So told my lady, I said, well, hold on. I gotta hear what Champ side saying. Hold on. Before we pull off, I gotta hear what Champ side talking about. Right? And I'm looking in the chat and I'm hearing what he's responding to. And you have all of these so-called boxing fans who were just talking crap about Boots being a duck, saying, well, the fight with Virgil versus Errol makes sense. It'll be a huge fight in Texas. Let Virgil become a bigger superstar first. Wait. You all were not having that energy just a week ago. You were running your mouth. You were dragging Boots Ennis. You were calling him yellow and all of this, right? We all were. Because the narrative was, and now it's making me rethink a whole lot of things now. Because we said, all right, we got Brian Norman Sr., we got Devin Haney, we got Virgil Ortiz team, we have all of these people saying the same thing. Now somebody's lying. We have 1942 Nitro. Turn your camera on and I'll let you up. Somebody is lying. All right, I got you. All right, family, we got 1942 Nitro in the building. Welcome, brother. You don't have to keep your camera on. I just wanted to make sure you wasn't a troll.
Oh yeah. Nah. I got you. I feel you.
All right.
I'm only going to turn it off because I got to put my phone on the charger real quick. I'm getting ready to go to the gym, actually.
Okay, brother, take your time. What's on your mind?
Nah, I'm just hearing what you got to say. This is actually my first time stopping in on the channel. I hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You cooking. I just feel like I commented earlier, Oscar kind of has a history of promoting what he would consider star fighters or top fighters with people that have names but are kind of over the hill, or we seen them lose a couple times or seen them get beat up a couple times, and I feel like history's about to repeat itself. It was a similar situation with Ryan Garcia when he was going back and forth on social media with Tank. Oscar wanted Ryan to fight what's the boy named Tago and Luke Campbell and they was talking about Fortuna, which obviously he took that fight immediately after losing to Tank. But when the people asked him about Tank, he said, Tank's a beast. And you could see his whole energy. He did not want Brian to take that fight because he knew he was going to lose. Or I'm not going to say he knew he was going to lose. Obviously, you got to get in the ring and see what happens. But he knew it was a good chance that Ryan would take a L to Tank because of the style matchup and Tank's skill set and his pedigree. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like it's about to be a similar thing. Everybody keeps giving Ortiz all of this credit for the Boachuk fight when I don't really. I think Boachuk is pretty good. Like I would never say he's a bum, but he's not on the level of the top guys. And Ortiz went life and death with him. The Madrimov win, I don't have nothing bad to say about. He did lose to Bud Crawford, but just about anybody will lose to Bud Crawford. So I don't got no problem with the Madrimov fight. Although, if you look at it, that's a very winnable fight. Madrimov was what, 10-1? Just coming off a loss. Yeah, let's strike while the iron's hot. There's another quote unquote name who, if you're more of a casual fan, you wouldn't have known who Madrimov was before the Bud fight. But Madrimov does have some amateur pedigree, so I'm not even gonna go too crazy on that. And then now we talking about him fighting Boots. It's finally here. Boots had his first fight at 54. Virgil is quote unquote the man at 54. And to be fair, I do like Virgil in the ring. I do think that he's a good fighter, so I'm not saying that. But as soon as they get out of the ring and Boots not there no more, what they say? Oh yeah, well, we can go fight Spence. And now we never even heard of a Ortiz versus Spence fight. Spence been out of the ring for how long now?
2 years, he got almost
exactly 3. Almost 3. So by the time that they would actually fight, Spence would have been out of the ring for 3 years. And the last time we seen him, he took a historic generational whooping to pound for pound, in my opinion, #1 fighter, one of the best fighters of this generation. And that was the type of damage that we never seen from Spence. On top of all the excuses that they try to make for Spence with that fight, with the car crashes and his eye and everything else. So it's like, okay, yeah, this is a prime opportunist situation from Oscar De La Hoya. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna try to fight Spence, he might be a Hall of Famer. He was a great champion on Ortiz's resume, but look at the point in his career that he's at. Like, this is this history repeating itself. And I always seen this inconsistency from not only De La Hoya, but from Virgil and his team. Like, they say, oh, we gonna call out Bud, we gonna talk shit to Bud, and then when Bud actually say whatever it is, we're gonna fight him later down the road. When they first started talking about Boots a couple years back, when Boots and his team and his dad say, all right, yeah, we'll fight him, no problem. then it's, oh, we're gonna meet way up there, all the way up there. It's like what are we talking about? You attach yourself to a name, somebody with some type of clout or somebody that's hot right now. You don't
Facts.
fight them. You fight a fighter that is clearly over the hill. And then the other thing that I don't like is, oh, we never seen this happen to Lubin. We never seen something like this happen to Lubin in this type of way. We just seen Lubin get stopped in round 1 before. So like, it's just the narrative painting that I just consistently see from Oscar. That's just what it just baffles me that nobody else sees it.
Now, you open my eyes to something I didn't even think about, because you know, when Virgil went against Madrimov, a lot of us gave that a pass because we were thinking, all right, well, he's just getting acclimated to the weight division. But then we didn't take into account that this man just fought Bud Crawford. And I think you really might be on to something, that they're just trying to strike the iron at the right time. Would he have been that version of Madrimov before he fought Bud? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it makes me rethink how they been moving this whole time. You know, but man, yeah, you really opened my eyes to that right there. I wasn't even thinking about the Madrimov situation.
In a sense, I kind of feel bad for Ortiz because I like I said, I do like Ortiz in the ring as a fighter. I do think he is a good fighter. And I actually think that he himself believes that he can, beat in.
Hey, brother, you went out. 1942. Can you hear me? Oh man. So our brother went out, but our brother was cooking. I didn't even think about how they moved. And let me say the point that he was making, Virgil Ortiz is not a bad fighter. But the way they've been moving him, now the truth is out. Hold on, I got you. Welcome back. Hold on. Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. My alarm went off and it messed up the whole thing. But
Cool.
I was
Go
saying,
ahead.
I think Ortiz believes in himself, and he believes he can beat anybody, or at least give anybody a tough fight. I just know that his dad and his trainer and his team, they do not want that fight with Boots. And obviously, like I said, I would favor Boots because of the style and the skill set and all the physical attributes. When I look at both fighters, things that they do good, the things that they do bad, who can capitalize off of what, I would obviously favor Boots. But that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean that Ortiz can't win. They got to get in the ring and see what can happen. I mean, personally, I favor Devin Haney over Ryan Garcia. And then we saw how the fight went. Obviously, there was a lot of variables with that too. But just because you favor one fighter, or it might look a certain way on paper, doesn't mean that that's how it's going to happen on fight night. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think Ortiz does believe he can win, but I think he doesn't even see the inconsistency between and what his team and his promoters doing, and even what he's doing. Like you just said in the ring when he was face to face, this is the fight that has to be next. Then as soon as Boots not there anymore, the first thing you say is, oh, I don't really care. It doesn't matter who's next. If it was up to me, I'll fight Errol Spence.
Because that's
It's
my dream fight.
huh?
That's exactly what he said.
You just said that this is the fight that has to be next. Now all of a sudden you don't care when a man not here in front of your face no more? To me, that's just not being consistent.
It's not consistent, and it's straight ducking. And the whole boxing community, I don't care if you're black, white, I don't care if you're Mexican or Asian. We have to be the ones to say, you know what? We're not paying for that. It's not happening. Those days are over. We have a card coming up with Abdullah Mason, Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney, Yard, David Benavidez, Bam Bam Rodriguez, all on the same card, and y'all are still playing games.
Thanks.
Y'all are still acting like we're gonna pay for some BS. And then, man, listen. The power is with the people at this point. Let me read one of these chats in. I see you, Drew. Let me go back up. Brother Drew Titan said, they were just in my live stream last night with me and Stormy saying that Boots is going to duck and Ortiz is going to beat all black fighters. Now Ortiz is ducking. God ain't wasting any time. See, let me say something about the race fans for a second. You see, the race fans are just as big of an enemy as some of these promoters, and this is why. They don't want to see a Virgil versus a Boots, because in their mind they can talk that crap and say their guy's gonna win, but these guys actually have to fight, and when they fight, they know deep down they don't think he can beat Boots. How his style is not right for Boots. And like the brother just said, no, we don't know what's going to happen on fight night. And even though Ryan Garcia is a cheating, racist piece of shit, none of us thought what we saw was going to happen. Now, Ryan Garcia owes Devin Haney a rematch. And every day that he is rewarded by Ring Magazine, he is rewarded to be a commentator. He is rewarded, it seems like, to cheat against Devin Haney. There has now been a foundation set in the sport of boxing that you can cheat. You can be on PEDs. You can be aligned with international criminal gangsters as long as you are not an American black fighter. So when they go out of,
cheating is okay as long as it's against the fighters that they don't like.
Exactly. And when they go on a tour to drag the character of one of our fighters, and we say, you know what, it's not looking good. We say Boots is, because I'm not gonna lie, and I don't mind saying when I'm wrong. I drug Eddie Hearn and Boots for that post press conference. It was too much hopping around. But now, when I see Boots come to the fight, step in the ring, the whole boxing world is excited. And then Oscar starts talking about Errol Spence. You're talking about Errol Spence that's been going 3 years. That might have been your dream fight 5 years ago. Hey, man, that's over with. That day is gone. And the fact, listen, family, this is boxing. Anytime you hear someone talking about we've been chasing something for 5 years, it's time to stop chasing it. That is what put us in this condition that we're in now. The brother Drew Titan said if Boots said that, they'll be in an uproar. You're damn right they would be. So I just want everyone to have the same energy. Go ahead, brother.
I mean, I just got an honest, humble, genuine question.
Yeah.
If Spence
I think the brother Nitro went out again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
My bad. I got a phone call. And I'm about to get off of here soon anyway. But if Spence has been Ortiz's dream fight, right? That's the fight he always wanted, he dreams about. Then why was 4 years ago he calling out Bud and Boots and didn't hear a peep about fighting Errol Spence? He was pushing for Bud. His team was attaching their name to Bud and Boots. Now all of a sudden it's his dream fight. I mean, that right there to me just highlights everything that I just heard from you on this live. Like that's just a way to get out of fighting the fight that everybody wants to see, because Oscar, deep down in his heart and his mind, knows that Boots presents worlds of trouble for him.
He knows. Oscar knows. And if you all saw when that camera cut over to Oscar, when Boots was in the middle of that ring, staring Virgil in his eyes, and Boots said, I'm going to make you pay for what all your team been talking about. And Oscar's eyes got so big. You could see this man was thinking, oh, shit. I did not think this was going to happen. Matter of fact, earlier that night, they did an interview, and Oscar said, I'm surprised Eddie and Boots is here. I didn't think they was really going to come. He looked even more surprised when that pressure and that truth was in the ring with him. But 1942 Nitro, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm about to land this plane soon and head over to my brother Drew Titan's channel. But I want to give you a shout out for subscribing and calling in, brother. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And if you can, you know, YouTube is a little bit finicky sometimes. So if you could put that other channel that you're about to visit in the chat. Like I said, I'm about to go to the gym, but I'll come over there too and just listen and hear what you guys got to say.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be in for a treat. Hey, brother Drew, if you still in the chat, put your link in the chat. Cause I don't think I can do it from StreamYard. Salute to you, brother. 1942
Appreciate
Nitro.
you, man. Have a good
We're gonna make sure you too. We're gonna make sure you had that.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to our brother calling in. And Drew, matter of fact, you can click on Drew's name. You should be able to click on Drew's name, and it should take you to his channel as well in the chat. Our brother Drew Titan. But let me say this, y'all. And that's how we work. That's how the family does. But don't think just because your boxing IQ is good that if you keep going against easy competition, things are going to keep working out in your favor. You all remember when Lomachenko bought his ass over here, thinking that he was just going to run through T.O.? Y'all better wake up. It does not benefit. It does not benefit the sport of boxing for Virgil Ortiz. And let me address this. Queen Tay-Tay is in the building. Salute. We got a few minutes. Let me address this for those who went to my brother's channel and was talking that crap. Brother Drew said, you know, they were in his chat live stream last night with him and Stormy saying that Boots is going to duck and Ortiz is going to beat all black fighters. Now Ortiz is ducking. You race fans and you casuals and any other family, if you want to drop your channels in the chat, you can. My brother Drew, I know he's gonna cook, I believe. Let me see. Let me make sure before I say this, because I got a new subscriber. Says that he wants to hear all the truth tellers and he's not familiar with our brother Drew Titan's channel. I guess I'm doing something right, because it's the first time I had somebody hit me up and they didn't already know who our brother Drew was. So that means we doing something right over here. Yeah, so oh yeah, our brother Drew's gonna be going live at 9:30. His live is gonna be Ortiz ducking Boots. Well, that didn't take long. But let me say something to you race fans who have this, you have this idea in your mind when you see Oscar De La Hoya or you see Robert Garcia, specifically for the racist Mexicans who go into because I know some of you all hate watch, that go into our channels to do this. Let me explain something to you all, whether you all know this or not. In America, if any of your fighters go through the USA Boxing program at any point, guess what? They're going to be trained by somebody black eventually. Oh, guess what? They're going to deal with a nutritionist at some point that's probably black. Guess what? They're going to deal with a strength and conditioning coach that's probably black. Guess what? When you go to Big Bear training camp, guess who's there? People. Yeah, I know you don't like that. To the race fan, guess what? We're all through the sport. We're not just fighters. with coaches, trainers, nutritionists, physical therapists, doctors. So this idea that you have this supremacist mindset, that you are above somebody, it's a lie. And a lot of times when Mexican fighters get to a point where they reach a level where their skill needs to change, they need help building the swag in the ring, you know who they usually go get? I know. Black people. I know y'all don't like that. So just keep that shit out of it, man. And if you are a hater, if you are a racist, why do you come to our channels? Why do you come to our chats? I have never woke up in the morning and said, you know what? Let me go find a racist channel and go see what they're talking about. I know that you are my enemy. So I don't have to fake it. This is why. Our brother Drew Titan said, well, that or go to the Juice Crew with Canelo. That's right. When Tyson Fury needed help to fight Deontay Wilder, guess what? He went and got a brother. When Ryan Garcia needed help, guess what? Yeah, Ryan Garcia, who y'all love to praise, and DAZN, shame on you. For you all to show that fight, for you all to promote Ryan Garcia, a golden boy, shame on you. To promote the knockdown of Ryan Garcia dropping Devin, and we know what happened behind that. Not only did he cheat, but the racist rants he went on behind that, and you all are still promoting that. Every black fighter coming out of the amateurs should never go to Golden Boy off of that alone, because they're letting you know how they really feel about you. They're letting you know, they're putting it right in your face. Hey, Drew, I don't know if you heard the brother, but he wants to come follow you. So if you can, drop your chat, drop your link in the chat. I don't know if your channel comes right up when he clicks on it. But this idea that you just have this supremacist idea that because you're a Mexican fighter or this and that, dude, there's nothing wrong with you being proud of your Mexican heritage, of you being a Mexican boxing fan. But when you start this bigotry shit, you need to have a reality check. Salute to the Dirt Game boss. Because the irrefutable truth is, let me just make it plain. When it comes to combat sports, where we are, we some of the best. Now, I know some of you all see some of the goofies in the sport, and you think they represent all of us. They don't. They do not. I know some folks, they like Richardson Hitchens like that. He don't represent me. Tank don't represent me. Devin the Dream Haney and his father represents us. Terrence Crawford, Chasing Greatness, represents us. 1942 Nitro, brother. That's the link right there to our brother Drew Titan's channel. And then you race fans always disappear when you have somebody like Oscar De La Hoya ducking the smoke of that black man that you say that you're better than. So just keep it boxing. Like the great Elmer Fudd used to say, be very, very quiet. It's duck season. And if these sanctioning bodies are not going to do the right thing, which they're not, see, when there were more top black elite fighters, they would force the tournaments. They would force the 6-man tournaments. They don't do that anymore. And check this out. Oh, race fans. To my racist Mexican fans in the sport of boxing. A lot of y'all from out there, you know, on the West Coast, and, you know, some of y'all in Texas. Once they get you all out the way, you all are a pawn to them. They only push the machine behind you because y'all are the only ones that have been able for generations to give a challenge to the black American boxer. That is a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. And once they get us out the way, which will never happen, as long as we keep having children, it will never happen. They'll use a white man and a white woman to do the same to you. Wrenches. Get these trolls out of here and control the chat. This is our space. This is a safe space for the truth tellers and the real supporters of the sport of boxing. You devilish trolls. I want to, before I land this plane, I got to say this to the trolls for a second. When they present themselves, you all need to understand that you're dealing with someone who has acknowledged that they are a spineless coward. They hear grown men speaking truth and they want to deviate the conversation. And my brother Drew just made a good point. He said bots are allowed by YouTube. That's why Rumble is taking all of your viewers. Racist scumbags. YouTube, this is happening on your watch. I find it interesting that you all can mitigate all these copyright infringement things into your database, but you can't control the racists. You can't control the trolls. When we go into the YouTube studio and try to edit it for our videos, they still find a way to make their way through. But this isn't about us. This is for you all. Those who love the sport of boxing, what it stands for, and the integrity of the sport. So like I started today, I asked a question about, is ducking only for certain fighters that look like me? And I know, and I'm so happy to be in the ranks with other truth tellers, because they're all about to light y'all asses up. The Queen Sugar Free Mars was already going off yesterday. Champ Side, Stormy B-Man, Drew Titan, The General, 78 Sports TV. I already know what's about to happen. My homie Clarence McLean. Drew Titan said YouTube allowed a white woman to do a whole live stream, racist rant in blackface. And that's not a violation of community standards. That's right. But you better not say nothing anti-Semitic. They'll remove your whole channel. But we all we got. And if YouTube don't get it right and we eventually have to all go over to Rumble or something else, then so be it. But to all the truth tellers, as I land my plane here, before our brother goes live in about 6 minutes, let me say this. Stay on their neck. Remind them every day that Oscar's a duck. Remind them every day. Force that devil to come on now. Throw the holy water of truth on them and watch them burn. Keep it going. Change the narrative to the point where Virgil says, you know what, Oscar, I don't care what you say. If I got to sue myself out to get the fights I need to get, then so be it. Because right now we look like cowards. Right now we look like hypocrites. After all that shit we talked, Boots came here to our home. That man from Philly, he came here to our home. Eddie flew across the ocean to get here. And now we're sitting here talking about Errol Spence that's been going 3 years after taking a beating by Terrence Crawford. We're still talking about Terrence Crawford, who we know is not coming all the way back down to no damn 154. So to the race fans, tell your fighters to stop attaching their names to these black men you say you're better than to push themselves. Family, I will be going live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. standing on truth. We're going to be more consistent and knock the head of falsehood off the shoulders of the hypocrite. Peace to the family, peace to my comrades, and it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO Boxing. All praise is due to the Most High. We talking boxing talk. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Sometimes, like in boxing life, knock you down. Get up on both feet, we never accept defeat. Remove the chains off your mind and take your time. The truth teller's always on the front line. You COINTELPRO boxer fans, you're dead wrong. Spitting division and hate all day long. But I rebuke you spineless devils in the name of Jesus. And y'all know we really don't give a damn about your wicked motives, always trying to split the fam. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Sunday afternoon, I need to unwind. I grab a cup of tea and play my sister Sugar Free. Mom, her knowledge, she will set you free. But don't get it twisted, ain't nothing sweet. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. My brother Drew Titan early in the AM, always speaking facts about the code. All the truth tellers, yeah, they real bold. The General 78, yeah, he real cold. Need some boxing history, shout out to Stormy B. Queen Shawala, always on the scene. And gotta give a shout out to our champ side. Getting us real facts, always down to ride. Now through one of these truth tellers, you found me. Now let's talk boxing with Coach B. We talking boxing talk, so pay attention. God made you and I in his own image. Shout out to my brothers Freedom March, Patrice X, who helped me put this whole thing together, and my sister, the great honorable Dr. Cameron Fields, helping us get our minds right. Mind, body, and soul.